Hiya! So it is Tuesday the 22nd of July and I'm off today. I'm usually working on a Tuesday, but sometimes I try to get a wee sneaky Tuesday off, so that's what I'm doing today. And I thought we could have a wee wander again, see what has changed, see what's grew, see what's going to need cut back. And I was also starting to think about where I want to move stuff for next year, because there's definitely a lot of things that are just in the wrong place. So we're at the start of the side garden and we can see these lilies are going to just start opening up soon. We've had these ones and they've kind of went over now, so I need to chop the heads off of them. These ones are starting, although it looks like they're getting eaten by slugs, funnily enough. Definitely been getting eaten by something. Look at these, so annoying. And then next to that we have the tiny wine, Physocarpus tiny wine. It's looking great. I chopped it back just a wee bit because it was hanging over the path a little bit too much, as is the lavender, but the lavender is going to get moved. I don't know if it's going to get moved or just taken out. Once I cut it back, I'm going to see what kind of shape it's in. At this side, look at that gorgeous hydrangea. Look at the colour, it's absolutely gorgeous. And this, I know I repeat myself all the time, but that was a cutting a couple of years ago from that big one up there, the big blue one. And it's amazing, obviously the difference in soil, that it really does make a difference. Now this climbing rose this year, I haven't had any buds. I think it was going to start flowering months ago when we had that nice hot spell, and then the rain came and one thing and another, covered in green fly. It just didn't happen. But there's new growth here, and I'm thinking might get some buds, but we'll just need to wait and see. And then what else have we got here? The Physocarpus Diablo. I'd say that's put at least a foot on in height just in the last maybe week or so. It's getting so big. It's leaning forward a lot though, so I think I'm going to take it tighter into the wall again. Just chop these bits off. And we've got Rebecca, and it's going to start flowering. That was one that was a wee division last year and it didn't really do anything, but it's looking great. I didn't think it would get enough sun here, but seems to be liking its spot. And in the pot, that's a stilby, and they were bare roots. So I've got that one, and there's one tucked in over there. I just wasn't sure where these were going to go, but we've got, this is one of the bits that I want to sort of change, but change so that I don't have too much to do every year. So obviously we've got this here, which is going to get even bigger. This Diablo is going to get bigger, and then we've got the Ilex, the variegated holly. It should hopefully get bigger. And then right here, I'm kind of thinking I would maybe like to move the lavender here just along the front, because nothing, well obviously that Rebecca has grew, but mostly nothing really grew very much at the back of this because it just shades everything out. So I thought if we move over there, and then it frees up some sunny spots here. But I'm not sure, because I also would like maybe a hydrangea or something in at the front, but we'll wait and see. The boxleaf honeysuckle as well is putting on a load of growth, and it's coming out the way as well, so that needs to get chopped back into the wall. And look, Queen of Sweden has got lots of buds. Look, there's loads of buds, and gorgeous. And another thing that I'm thinking is not too, well, it's doing amazing, but is this Echinops. Completely the wrong spot. It's just right at the, almost right at the front of the border, and I'm going to move that further back, I think. And look at the Invincible Spirit 2, sorry. Look at the gorgeous colours of that. And that was the one that Anna got me last year, so it's very special. Now over this side, Vanessa Bell Rose is flowering again. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, got thorns. You see that? And it's got lots of buds as well. It doesn't support itself very good. It's not got very strong stems. And coming up this side, the Blue Moon. Goodness me, got caught in the rose. The Blue Moon Rose is started to flower. The trouble is, we're getting so much rain that by the time they're flowering, they're not looking that great. But there's quite a few buds, so hopefully the next ones will look a little bit less raggedy. And then we've got more Echinops down here, and there's some in at the back here, which I do think that's where I'd like the Echinops to be, more tight into the wall. And then, what's that one called? Look at the Rose Campion. I'm going to have more of that in the garden next year. Love that colour. The Feverfew, that was a Feverfew I cut down weeks ago, and it's came back. And then over here, the Feverfew again, it started to like lose its petals and everything, so I think I'm going to cut that further down. The Limelight's looking really nice. It actually does look like it glows, doesn't it? Love, love, love that. The Geums are just about done for now. I have been really good at deadheading, so I'm hoping that they maybe come back. These are just the wee red ones. There's one wee final flower there, but it's not looking its best. We've got Crocosmia in here. Oh, and a wee lonesome Verbena bonariensis. It came back from last year, so happy days. Right, I really need to watch my feet here because the garden is inundated with baby toads or baby frogs. I'm not sure. I think they're toads. But I'm terrified in case I hurt one. I like them being in the garden. Well, I don't really, but when they're here, I don't mind them being in the garden, apart from the fact I just want to know where they are. But they hide and disguise themselves, and you only see them at the last second. So around here, oh, look at this. Got some poppy seed pods, and I'm starting to think that this one looks ready just about, because it's got the wee bits are open at the top, whereas the other ones aren't. So it must open so that it can scatter the seeds. The Echinops is doing it. The Echinops has done amazing this year. I didn't realise it got so big. Last year it only got about 2-3 feet at the most, some of it. And I thought that was the size it was going to be, but no. It's massive, so definitely these are all getting moved around. And I've been taking some cuttings. So that's the Blue Spire Salvia in these 3 wee pots. That's a tiny wine, that's already got roots. That was, I think that's from last year, or spring maybe. And then this is, I think possibly the hydrangea, the lace cap one. And another Blue Spire Salvia. Some lavender, which I'm going to take more of that when I cut it back. And then in here there's another, I think that's Annabelle hydrangea. And then that's the like black lace elderberry. And then in here is the think it's maybe the tiny vine, Physocarpus tiny vine, in the jar of water. So I need to maybe have a wee look and see what we're getting root wise. Oh my goodness, is that a foxglove growing in the wall? Can you see that? Surely not. I'm getting caught. This is all definitely looking very messy. It needs cut back. Now this cornice as well, Flavoramia I think it's called, that is going to get moved. I think I'm going to move that up into the fence border because it'd be nice to have a wee bit of evergreen interest, although it also loses its leaves, but the stems stay that really nice bright colour. So I think that's where that's going to go, and the new rhododendron is going to be in here. Got loads of things that I need to be getting done. The Kilmarnock willow is looking fab, and the wee begonias underneath, they're looking good. And oh, the wee miniature gladiolas, which I think, was it May that you were talking about them, asking if you got them? Well, this is the miniature ones here. Look, I cut the lettuce back. It's exciting. Yeah, so this is the miniature gladiolas. It looks like it's going to be a gorgeous magenta colour. And these were all cuttings from one that I had last year, which is the lemon ball, sedum lemon ball I think it's called. Lemon ball sedum, lemon, it's something like that. So they're looking fabulous. Little fuchsia. And look at this. Look at this hydrangea. And the pathway is looking a bit overgrown as well. So we've got the supertunias down here, and we've had loads of rain, so they're not looking their best. And the Nicotiana, or Nicotiana, however way you prefer to say it. And then the clematis, the wee purple ones. I think there's more buds. I'm sure I saw buds yesterday on it. And agapanthus. I was a bit worried that this wouldn't flower this year because I had moved it into the ground, because they like to be quite restricted with their roots, I think. But it seems happy enough, and I only had 3 last year, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So must be quite happy. And then a wee Rebecca in at the back. So these have just started to open their petals just the last couple of, well, really yesterday and today. And did I say the rose campion? I love these colours together, these bright pinks and yellows. And the red dogwood, liking that. Oh, I need to watch where I'm putting my feet. I'm not sure about the raspberry plants. I know that the canes from last year will die off. I think these maybe just got a bit dry at some point, so hopefully they're coming back. I think we get maybe later berries on them. And look, right along the edge of the drain, loads of forget-me-nots have just sown themselves, and I'm pretty sure there's quite a lot under here as well. Yeah, look, I don't know if you can see, but there's forget-me-nots in there too, so that's good, because I loved how that looked in the spring when it was just the wee drift of them right along the path. Come over here, I'm just watching where I'm putting my feet. I don't want to cause the death of little toads. So along the house, hello Nico, here he comes, walking down the street. Hiya baby, how are you? Oh. So anyway, supertunias in the pot, that's just one plant, and then more Rebecca here. Hi, Nico. More Rebecca. He'll swipe me in a second if I don't give him enough attention. And then the lupin is growing back. I cut that right down and the leaves are coming back, so that's nice. Hiya. Hello, darling. Do you want a snack? Do you want a snack? Right. Right, and then we've got another super tunia at the front here. Nico's got a wee snack. Right, we've got another super tunia beside this Rebecca. Now that Rebecca is my usual one, and it definitely doesn't have as many flowers this year. It still looks healthy, but I don't know if when we got that dry spell I must have maybe not fed it enough, or maybe I've overfed it because it's got loads of leaves but not as many flowers, so could be that as well. I need to look into that. And then we've got the Liatris spicata getting the purple at the top, and the purple works its way down. And then beside the other super tunia we've got more of that. You can just see it beside the red dogwood. And amaranthus, look at that, I'm loving that this year. This is the green cascade, and it's the only one that's doing proper good size wise, because the other ones have all been really tiny. Gladiolas, look at that nice pink one coming. It looks a bit smaller than the one that we had before. And then we've got more super tunias and a cosmos at the back, and then my mum's rose. And then over here, look at the geums. Well, the one geum that's totally tangerine, and also the super tunias. It's just spilling over here. I love this. This is one of my favourites in the whole garden. And my tomato plant, I've had a couple of tomatoes off of here. So the totally tangerine, we've had a flower, but look, there's so many buds on this. That one looks like it's just getting ready to go. But yeah, lots of buds, so that's exciting. And I've got my courgette. I actually think I've got courgettes. Can you see them? I've never grown these before. Oh, it looks like something's been chomping that one there, so might not get anything. And then, as if I don't have enough, I sowed Echinops yesterday. Said to do it in August to September, but I thought, well, 10 days will not make much difference. Look at my corn. This is the first, I grew corn last year and it was tiny. And this is all, there's one that's really tall here, and the rest are quite small, but sturdier looking, I think. But I didn't have this last year. Is that me getting corn? It looks like, I think I've only got one that's got that now, so we'll wait and see. But I thought that was exciting. And the rhubarb, looking fab, and I've been really good, and I've not cut on it this year, because not to do that for the first year. And then we've got this dahlia. Now I'm sure this one at the post is that Nordwick's Glory, or something. And then we have echinacea coming, and ooh, look at this, I forgot to say, pineapple lily, Eucomis. And I cut back this wee petunia, that was the Tumbelina, Priscilla Tumbelina. And then we've got balloon flowers coming, and these were from last year. And the one that I got off my client had died off a little bit, but I cut it and it's coming back. So I'm glad about that, because I always feel guilty if someone's gave me something and it dies. And then look, the rhododendron's getting new growth. So I'd like to get that planted and settled into its new spot soon. There's another bud coming onto the Queen of Sweden cotton. Can you see that? And these are cuttings that are all looking so healthy. Look, I think this lime green one, I think that's Vanessa Bell. Sorry, my hair's going in my eyes. And then we've got more dahlias that I've moved over onto the patio. No sign of buds on these ones yet, but these were the really late ones. I can't believe the size they've gotten and how quickly they have grown. Shows you think it's too late, and sometimes it's not. The snapdragons are getting taller and a lot more colour. And the sweet William. Oh, I love this sweet William, look. Now, I seen a wee tiny toad or frog crossing the grass yesterday to get into this border, so I need to be super careful. Sweet William, so look at the colour of that one, the pale pink. Oh, love that. Really love that. Now we seem to be getting more sweet peas opening. This one is amazing, look at that colour. But I love this colour too. Now also, right, I need to, sorry if it's all shaky, but I'm trying to watch my feet. So the other day as well, I decided to put this urn planter in here, just to give a wee bit of height and interest in the border. And that's the lobelia that I grew from seed. So proud of them. And then we've got more lobelia grown from seed in this pot with an amaranthus that, again, as I said, not doing very much. I love that. I think it just really brightens up this corner. And then the gladiolas, I don't think we've got any flowers there yet coming up. Calendula still looking good. I've been deadheading them still, so more of them are coming. I love this wee wild area, but I'm thinking that this is where I'm going to put that green cornice. Look, more flowers on the Weigela. And look at it. Now please don't look at the edge, I need to edge it all, but now I'm scared in case I hurt a blooming toad. Impatiens are looking good. And this wee bit of feverfew. See, I thought that was kind of this, I knew it was going to be a bit taller than that, but I didn't realise the other feverfew would get just so tall. But I'm really happy. Look at the impatiens, they're just lovely. Nothing really grows in this bit because it's so shaded, so at least now I know impatiens work really well. What do you think of the wheelbarrow? I know I go on about it, but cost next to nothing to do it. The dahlias are getting so big, I might need to get something in there so they don't topple over if we get a windy day or rain or something. But I'm really, really happy with that. I love that Super Junior Vista bubblegum. And these wee pale pink geraniums or pelargoniums. And then over here is a bit of disappointment. Well, no, this is not a disappointment. That is amazing. The big hydrangea, I think the time's coming to really chop that, I think. I don't know, we'll see. But this bit here is quite disappointing this year. My dahlias, I've got dahlias planted in here. One looked like it had been eaten by a slug, the actual tuber. And then the ones at the back, remember I had the bright idea I put in my dahlias in and I wasn't going to plant anything else round about them. And then I thought, oh, I'll put sunflowers in between because they'll look really good and they're tall, so they won't affect the dahlias. I think they're affecting the dahlias. Look, they're so bushy, these ones. I think these might be the vanilla ice ones. But we do have a totally tangerine dahlia, or dahlia, down here. And it's definitely looking like it's getting some buds now, so that's exciting. This one, eaten alive. And there's wine-eyed Jill at the back. That had a bud, but it's getting eaten alive as well. And then, oh, I thought I'd stood on something, it was just a stem. And then this one here is looking good, although something's had a chomp at the leaf, so I might need to keep an eye on it. And the gaillardia looks good, although it's not got flowers yet, but that was grown from seed, so it might be next year for that, I'm not sure. And the eryngium, I really don't know how I feel about this. See, in arrangements and things, I love the blue. But that kind of blue, for some reason, I'm not really enjoying in the garden. The Physocarpus Dark Gold, again, is just illuminating this area. Now see how we have this gap? I planted a cutting last year of Weigela, and I'm pretty sure that's what that is there. So I'm thinking come next year it'll hopefully be bigger. Now I need to do a ID on the leaves to make sure. It's hard to tell. I hope it's a Weigela, because that should come up and fill this gap right there. But these sunflowers are doing amazing, so I'm not going to be too downhearted about the dahlias, because I do have a lot of them on the patio that look like they're doing really well. And the sunflowers will hopefully look amazing. And look at the colour of those ones. I think that's the ones that I got the seed from my client. And wee white cosmos. And then we'll have some calendula, the orange. I just love that colour. It's an amazing orange. And then we've got some more here, and some Madam Butterfly. I think I'm going to cut these for in the salon, and I'll take it away from the dahlia. Oh, almost forgot to show you the lily that opened. Look. Do you know, these are about the most beautiful lilies I have, and I got them from, like, it was like Home Bargains or B&M or something, for about £1 something for the bulbs. It was like near the end of the season, so I just planted them and they're amazing. And then the little Marguerite daisies, starting to get a bit discoloured with the rain and things, so I think I'll give them a wee chop. And this hydrangea here, I think I'm going to try and get this in the ground somewhere. And that's another view of the Kilmarnock willow and the little begonias. Anyway, I think that's about it for today. I think it feels like it's been quite a long video, so I hope it's not been too boring. Look at that, I forgot to show you the trough with the Super Tunia and the Creeping Jenny. Again, one wee plant, and that was a cutting. It's alright for being free, eh? And then I'll show you my wee secret garden, which is very secret, and you wouldn't have a hope of getting into that back seat at the moment. Never mind. This Creeping Jenny is doing amazing, but I think it's really crowded out the Super Tunia. Well, I don't think. I know. If I could move the Super Tunia without it hurting it, although might be as well trying it and move it somewhere better. Look at the fern. I love the fern here. That just grows itself. Basically a weed here, but I love it. Ali's not as keen. He's always wanting to cut it down, but I said no, leave it alone. But the Annabelle is just, I love it. And I've got some cuttings actually And at the back, I don't know if I can stretch to show you. There's a pot in there. Nah, can't see it, but there's a pot of cuttings from the Annabelle as well, so hopefully we'll get more of those coming along. Right, I really hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to go in and finish my coffee and probably watch some gardening videos on YouTube, and then I might think about getting dressed. So I'll just say bye for now.